Hi everyone, Peter Barber here, professional singer and music producer, and I have just done my first time vocal analysis and reaction for Sienna Spiro, who I had the great pleasure of being in the Gap Give Your Gift campaign with last fall. Shortly after that, Die on This Hill came out, and she went from a rising star to just a full-fledged star. She's so wicked talented. She was so cool during the shoot. It's amazing to see her career taking off the way it is, and she totally deserves it. And I just had a blast breaking down what makes her so amazing and what makes her voice so special and so unique. It's a lot of things. Maybe some things you thought of, hopefully a few things you haven't thought of, because that's why I'm here. So please sit back, relax, enjoy, and I will see you after.
I'm yours for hours. You're always mine.
Oh my goodness. Just such a beautiful, captivating voice, and this very much, 20th century feel to this music. It feels very old school, almost feels like vocal technique wise, not at all, but kind of like golden age musical theater, where it's, it's much more similar to like opera in the classical world, where you have this full orchestration, which we get here. We get this lovely, beautiful instrumentation orchestration at the beginning with what sounds like, chamber orchestra and piano, setting us up to this beautiful ballad. And then Sienna's voice comes in. There's this beautiful stillness, quietness in the accompaniment, and then Sienna's voice comes in, fills up the space with this wonderful, raspy, breathy, warm, intimate vocal color that she has that's so unique to her voice. Beautiful. Listen to that violin go up there right at the end. There's a lot of lovely little movement and intricacy in this section I won't get too far into, but it's worth taking a close listen just to this intro and listen to each instrument.
I'm yours for hours. You're always mine.
It's got this kind of like, it feels like kind of like the Jackie Kennedy look to her here, something of that era. And I think the way this music video is presented works really perfectly with the music too. There is this stillness, it's this calmness, this intimacy, and it really right now is just voice and piano. Oh, let's talk about the voice. It's so beautiful. Mm-hmm. We're in what? C sharp major? Mm-hmm. Yeah, C sharp major. Okay, so she starts on a B flat. This is getting towards the top of, this is getting into the upper range of chest voice for most trained female vocalists. For untrained, this is about the limit before it starts getting quite yelly or flipping into head voice. But Sienna has this high B flat, absolutely no trouble at all. And what is so captivating to me about her whole approach and her whole vocalism throughout this first section, and what I've heard from her before, is how much dynamics there are moment to moment. So she'll have this very strong, chesty, belty quality, and then she'll almost completely come off the voice to the point of it's like almost a whisper. And these changes happen very, very quickly. It just shows a lot of vocal control for this 20-year-old singer, by the way. When we were in the Gap ad together last fall, this is kind of before she really blew up in the way she has. And I guess she was 19 or had just turned 20 when we did that ad together. And And it's, I remember I found that out after the fact. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, so poised, so professional, just such a complete artist at such a young age is really, really remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Okay. So listen to Urs of Towers. 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 So the first note really leans in. This is nice too, because this is how the language goes, right? Towers. It's not towers. Towers. So even though the second syllable she has here is longer, she pulls way off on the volume. It makes the language feel correct. It makes the language land better. And it shows this wonderful vocal control. Time. Same thing on time. That's just one syllable. She also allows this beautiful natural vibrato to come in on these longer notes, these really soft, breathy notes. She's allowing the vibrato to come in. Another sign of good vocal control and good vocal technique.
Towers, rented time. I'm yours for hours. You're always mine.
You're always mine. And then that whole phrase, right, is in that, it's in its mine down to the A flat 3. This is getting closer to the bottom of her comfortable chest range, right, where she's not pushing, doesn't have to push or anything yet, but this is getting down into that. You can tell it's getting weightier as it's feeling more of that chest resonance coming in. And she keeps the whole line very soft, very warm.
You're always mine. All things expire. I know you won't stay, but I seem to inspire you to say.
It's so wonderful. And it's so powerful just with the piano and voice. This is very much similar to, I mean, you do have a lot of these kinds of ballads, although they may seem less common nowadays. You get them occasionally. So I know Olivia Rodrigo has done some where it's really just voice and piano is the focus. There are other artists, of course, that do this. But it also, that tradition started in the classical world with recital, where you have one singer and piano and no microphones or anything, a very intimate setting. I've done a lot of that as with my work as a professional opera singer. And it is so intimate to be in the room there with just voice and instrument collaboration. It's really this beautiful thing. She's just wonderful. This is just such a world-class talent. Also, I was going to mention, because the video is so still, when she does something small like lift her hand up, that's so much more powerful than if she were active the whole time, right? So you could get no movement, no movement, no movement. Ooh, the hand. What's that hand mean? It sticks out a lot more. It's much more powerful.
All things expire. I know you won't stay, but I seem to inspire you to say that you love me, say I'm all you need. In the back of my mind, I know I'm temporary. You're holding me for the night, for some pleasure, if that's all we are. No, I'll always be a visitor. And your arms.
Oh my gosh, how soft she gets in this last note. It's like just the vocal folds are just coming together enough to make a pitch. It's almost a whisper.
And your arms.
Amazing. What a phenomenal chorus. Say that you love. So she keeps going up to these B flats, and she's keeping her vowels relatively true to the language, which gets harder and harder as you get higher. You have to usually, if you get up in that belt range, you typically want to open your mouth more and more. But she's staying quite true to the language here, and just fully in control. And like the power of this song is not complexity, right? It's relatively simple chords, it's simple melodies, but it's the amount of character and colors and dynamics that's put into this, what is on paper a very simple performance.
You to say that you love me, say I'm all you need.
Little things like that. All you need. Like little riffs like that add a lot. When she goes from the big, much more belting style singing to the soft stuff, like me. The last word of this first phrase is me, and she really pulls off the voice just for that one word.
You love me.
Like, listen to the difference between love and me. It's like full voice, very, very, very soft.
Say that you love me, say I'm all you need. In the back of my mind, I know I'm temporary.
She could have helped herself out even more on in the back of my mind. Like, she really goes like back of my mind. She really doesn't even give herself like the full bite the apple kind of position that's really good for high belting. So what that signals is that she's got room above that where she doesn't even have to open the jaw to access those notes with comfort. She's got it in a much more neutral position.
Back of my mind, I'm all you need. In the back of my mind, I know I'm temporary. You're holding me for the night, for some pleasure, if that's all we are.
That glottal, if that's all we are, instead of if that's all we are, if that's if that's all we are. That reattack is called a glottal. Helps the vocal folds come together, gives them a little bit more vocal fold closure. You get a more pure sound, just meaning there's a little less air coming through. The vocal folds go like this, and during each oscillation, a certain amount of air escapes. And the closed quotient is how much time per oscillation, we're getting very nerdy here, that the vocal folds are closed. And so what a glottal attack does is it will slightly increase your closed quotient, so there's a little bit less air coming through.
No, I'm temporary. You're holding me for the night, for some pleasure, if that's all we are. No, I'll always be a visitor. In your arms.
Fantastic. Still just piano.
It's in my nature.
All right, so we just get this very clear bass come in, but it's piano bass voice. Again, we're still in a very intimate instrumentation, an intimate arrangement.
It's in my nature to be cynical. I want to be remembered, so I get hysterical.
Some cool change in rhythms here, because like vocally it's in the same place, a lot of the same colors, dynamics that she was using in the first verse. Wide range, but same kind of painting with the same palette, you might say. But there's a cool shifts in kind of how the lyrics are delivered here. And then we have this break before whatever this last word was, which was kind of cool. She goes through the phrase, she kind of extends the phrase longer than you're expecting, then takes a breath, and then says the final word of the phrase.
Remembered, so I get.
Yeah.
I want to be remembered, so I get hysterical.
Want to be remembered, so I get hysterical. But the first phrase feels like it kind of goes on longer in a way that hasn't happened for a phrase thus far.
Be remembered, so I get hysterical.
She loves this little that little 3-note riff is like she's used that a lot throughout this performance.
I get hysterical. I wanna be that one thing.
Oh, down to that A flat again. So I mean, really, that is getting pretty close to the bottom of what sounds like her comfortable range. You can really feel her. She's not pushing, It's just on the edge. It's like you can tell she were to go a little bit further, it would start to get grabby, right? But she's right in that warm lower end of her chest range. I'm singing an octave lower because I'm a bass. She's singing that A flat 3.
Hysterical. I wanna be that one thing. Sounds special to you.
Oh, thanks. Slides up there, and then a slightly bigger riff on this last verse. You, thanks. So a little bit extra sauce here in the second verse.
One thing sounds special to you.
Yeah.
Say you won't forget me, but you always do. Then say that you love me.
Look at this, like allowing the voice. She allows the voice almost to break a little bit, where there's a gap in pitch, there's a gap in tone, where it's just air. It's like a very controlled vocal crack almost as she gets into this second chorus. Also, yeah, like really nice job carrying that vowel up into a territory where it starts to get difficult. It's not a pure you, but that might sound weird anyway. It's like a little more neutral, which is a great way to sing that vowel and have it still come across to us as a nice pure ooh, but make it more singable. It's called vowel modification. On it's like a tiny bit of air on hey that you love. It's fun trying to imitate her octave.
Ways do this, say that you love me. Say I'm all you need. In the back of my mind, I know I'm temporary.
Okay, so what do you notice about the second chorus? Strings. We have the bass from the second verse that's stuck around, and we have our string section that we haven't heard since the introduction, and we have Sienna putting more weight and more vocal fold closure into her singing. So it's a little less in that intimate place. She's really letting it out more. Even the final words of the phrases, she's kind of singing through them, as opposed to in the first chorus, she really was pulling off of them.
Say I'm all you
need, instead of the first chorus is like need, or whatever she was doing earlier in the song, right? I won't go back and check, but there's clearly a lot more like singing, staying on the voice and singing through phrases here in the second chorus.
love me. Say I'm all you need. In the back of my mind, I know I'm temporary. You're holding me for the night, for some pleasure, if that's all we are.
Just realized this gets pretty low. B flat gets down to a B flat for her, which in the middle of a chorus is pretty low actually. And they've got to be careful with the mixing here, right? Because the lower you get, the more you're going to compete with orchestra. This is the big challenge. One of the big challenges of being an opera singer. A low voiced opera singer is you're right in the meat. It's called the spectral envelope of where the orchestra makes the most sound. And so on a mixing engineer's part, you got to be careful when a lead vocal is sitting low during a chorus, because choruses often have the big moment. That's the biggest part of the sound. It's kind of a wall of sound usually. This is a more intimate setting, so it's not quite as much like that. But it's a consideration you have to make as a songwriter, and then as a producer, and then as a mixing engineer. What to do with a lead vocal when it's sitting low in the voice. And we get it here, and you can tell if the orchestra was really blasting, it would be much more difficult. You'd have to boost her voice even more, and then it can get muddy and into a weird kind of competition that way. There are like so many things that go into creating a song that sounds like this. There's like a million large and small pieces, and for the final version, mixing, in my opinion, is one of the most challenging things to do in the music industry, and do it well. Have all the sounds that are recorded really fit together perfectly, and get that radio ready polished sound. We're used to hearing it all the time, so there's very little appreciation for it from people outside of the music industry. But trust me, as a mixing engineer, and it's not what I do. There are people who are far better that I hire for my stuff, but I can do it to a level where I can produce and mix and master my own stuff, and have gained so much appreciation for the best people who do it because of that. So take my word for it. Mixing, very tough.
No, I'm temporary. You're holding me for the night, for some pleasure. If that's all we are, no, I'll always be a visitor. In your eyes.
So we get 2 slides in a row. One is on we get one on and then we get one on and she really sustains it out. And this probably is about, because Sienna naturally has a little bit of this breathiness, raspiness in her voice. This is probably about as pure as her voice gets. It's not like a musical theater belty voice that has so much ping in it. There's a lot more warmth and this breathiness, this lovely natural quality she has to her sound. That's a big thing about being a pop artist, quite frankly, is like, you have to be a great singer, naturally or trained, doesn't matter. And it's really about the actual quality of her voice. Typically has to be interesting. If you're making this kind of music, there's plenty of pop music that's like very much focused on the production side of things and the catchy hook and so on and so forth. But Sienna has to have the kind of voice in this subset of pop. It's almost hard to even call it pop because it's so different than a lot of pop music, where the voice, there's such a focus on the voice and the vocal quality that like, it has to grip you immediately. And she's both a great singer and has a very unique sound. Anyway, that was a little rabbit hole off of the purity of the tone. But when she gets up into that high belt, chesty stuff, that's typically where you're going to hear the most pure tone from a singer. Right here. Because she gets up to this high C sharp, and you can tell that's very much towards the top. Now, N is not a great vowel to have to sing up there, but you can tell that's a stretch, right? That's what kind of makes that moment feel like a little bit of like a climax of the song. Is that's really Sienna taking her voice up to what I would say is probably pretty close to the top of her reliable chest range. C sharp's quite high. C sharp 5 above tenor high C. And then she comes back down. That's it right there. That's it. And then has this lovely riff at the end of it as well. It's like, she starts up high, then takes a break, then slides, and then does a riff. That's so cool. So this is a great example of how the mixing really switched here. So right when she's singing her lead vocals, like in the chorus, the orchestra's pulled way back. It's way more focused on piano. Piano and voice has always been the focus. During this bridge section where Sienna's doing these sort of riffs or ad-libs, whatever you want to call them, they sound improvised. Obviously, she might have busted them out. These are the kinds of things that a great singer like her could easily just literally riff on in the studio, just like throw a bunch of them out there and then end up using the ones that work. But during this moment where there's no text, right? It's more about emotion here. The orchestra is ripping. The orchestra is really forward, and her voice gets buried way deeper in the mix because you can do that at a place like this. It's the vocalism, not words, but the vocalism in the orchestra really hand in hand making this moment happen, as opposed to previously it was really voice first and then orchestra supporting. See how much stronger the orchestra is here. And then it pulls back right when she has lyrics again. Oh! Can't look at me like that.
Say I'm all you need. In the back of my mind, I know I'm temporary. You're holding me for the night, for some pleasure. If that's all we are, no, I'll always be a visitor. No, 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 no. No, I'll always be a visitor in your arms.
Whew. It's just wonderful. She has a relatively slow vibrato, and vibrato speed is very much a natural thing. Her technique is great. Her breath support's great. Once you've got that figured out, the vibrato becomes a very natural thing. Some people have very fast vibratos. Some people have much slower vibratos. You can affect it a little bit, but it's sort of set in a way like your low chest range is. Like I have young bass singers ask me all the time, like, what can I do to just extend my natural chest range? And I'm like, keep training and see what happens with time. Like, that's it. You can do techniques to extend your lower range in a bunch of ways, but to actually extend your natural chest range, this is literally physiology. It's like, how thick are your vocal folds? What's your whole vocal tract setup look like? And it's actually similar for vibrato. It's how those elements come together. And then once you've figured out breath support and vocal technique, then it's like, well, you have the vibrato you have. Anyway, her approach on this final chorus, by far the most intimate, soft, wonderful singing, and she's staring at us while she's doing it. I mean, it just kicks you right in the emotional nuts. It's really wonderful.
Say that you love me. Say I'm all you need. In the back of my mind, I know I'm temporary.
Tiny little micro changes from previous choruses. It's just even softer. It's just like, how soft can she sing? Like those high B flats still in her chest voice are very, very soft and intimate. It's really excellent.
My mind, I know I'm temporary. You're holding me.
And then we get some instrumentation coming back. So we get this super, super intimate, soft moment. And then to finish this chorus, or to go to the second half of the chorus, instrumentation comes back.
No, I'm temporary. You're holding me for the night, for some pleasure. If that's all we are. No.
If that's all. Okay, so we got a number of C sharps. Yeah, now these C sharps, a little more locked in than the first one we heard. Especially this last one that she's... Just kidding. She's sustaining the B flat. But both these C sharps, they're still stretched, right? They're still exciting because they're towards the top of her range. But then she lands back down on this B flat, holds it out, wonderful vibrato. And it's a very clean vibrato. It's consistent. That's how you know it's not false. It's a technique based vibrato. And that's how you tell vibrato speed. It's just like that.
Pleasure, if that's all we are.
I think we have actually very, very similar vibrato speeds. It's just kind of interesting. Let's see if I just did it naturally. Maybe a tiny bit faster.
Some pleasure, if that's all we are.
It's very, very close. Now, this is me singing up in my falsetto, which is a very different technique and register that she's in right now. She's very much in her chest voice. But vibrato speed remains relatively consistent once you've got technique figured out, believe it or not.
No, I'll always be a
It's almost a whisper. What's that? It's like almost all air.
No, I'll always be a visitor in your arms.
Wonderful. But just amazing to see Sienna. Like, she was mostly kind of on her own during the Gap shoot. So we hung out with her a little bit. Obviously, we were on set with her a lot, and we could, talk in between takes and that kind of thing. But at the time, people kind of described me as like, she's like kind of blowing up on TikTok, and she's going on tour with Teddy Swims. Obviously, both big things. And then a few months later, I think like soon after that ad, Die on This Hill came out. And then it was like she went from maybe 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Now she has like 25 million, which I know is just too big numbers, maybe to a lot of people outside of the industry. That is a crazy shift. I mean, she's on like the top. She's like number 300 in the world or something on Spotify with those numbers. It's like A-list, baby. So cool to see that. She's a wonderful singer and artist. She was very nice to everybody in the shoot. She was a great sport with how many takes we had to do. And just cool to see her. I will have put up a graphic. I'll do it again. This graphic right here with all of us together in the shoot. And I'll include some other arrows around to other people here, because it was just a wrecking crew of like amazing artists. Like Beyonce's vocal arranger was in there. Another woman that had been on tour with Beyonce was there. All these like major sized creators all over social media. Some other rising stars, right? Some other people that have millions of monthly listeners. I mean, it's just like a wrecking crew of people. It was an honor to be a part of. I was there, obviously, singing bass because they needed someone who could sing a bunch of low E flats. Just a bunch of these all day long. And so they got me. For that, and a couple other folks. Yeah. Really cool experience. Great to see Sienna popping off, and she's just an incredible artist. So I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, hope you gained appreciation for her voice and her artistry. That's the whole goal here, and I'll see you in the next one. Leave recommendations below. Peace.